That's right, it is time for another episode of What's in Your Backyard. I'm Joe Challenger, and today we're at one of my favorite places to look for reptiles. Let's check it out. And as you can see behind me, that's right, we're at a set of railroad tracks. And the reason I love Herping railroad tracks is they leave all sorts of clutter alongside the railroad tracks. Boards, rocks, miscellaneous items, railroad ties, and they're awesome for flipping and finding amazing reptiles. But first things first, a lot of you guys mentioned in the comments of my last herping video that I wear Crocs when I'm out herping. And that's right, I do wear Crocs when I'm up in Wisconsin because there's nothing I have to really worry about. There's only one thing you gotta make sure you're doing when you're wearing Crocs out herping. You gotta make sure you stick them in four-wheel drive. Justice, are you in four-wheel drive? No, now that you found your shoe, yes. Are you in four-wheel drive now?
Yes.
All right, now we can begin herping. Well, we're almost to where I like to start flipping stuff. Up in here, it's really too wet, so I think I just way too much cover. I mean, you can see some stuff from time to time, but they disappear before you even got a chance. When you come around here, it gets a little bit higher, gets out of that wetland zone, so then you'll get where there's logs and pieces of board and railroad ties and miscellaneous stuff that the railroad leaves laying on the edges for projects that they got going on. And the snakes will like to hide underneath there. And a lot of times you can find 2 or 3 under one flip. So we're almost there. Stay tuned. We're getting there, guys. And what we have here is right on the edge of what I like to call the sweet spot for herping. You got this massive wetland over here on the one side, coming up to this tree portion where you got all sorts of frogs and amphibians and whatnot that the colubrids like to feed on. But they don't want to live in the water. I mean, even a water snake wants to get out of the water when it goes to nest. So you find these wood edges right along the side here where they can get up out of the water, but they're still close to their feed source. It's the best spot to start finding and flipping stuff. So we're gonna walk right up here. I can already start seeing some piles, and we're gonna see if we can find you guys something.
Did that bird fall out of the nest?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Well, trying to get some of his feathers.
Is it okay? Oh.
Check this out, yo. That's not something I like seeing. Got a little baby blue jay. Looks like he's starting to get some of his feathers in, walking around. Looks like he fell out of his nest. I'm gonna make sure that I don't touch him because I don't want to leave any of my scent on him. Upset his mom. But I'm sure she's around here somewhere close by. Nest is probably right around here.
Oh, poor little bird, man. Is he?
We'll see how things are going on our way back through. Here we go. There we go. First snake. we got? Oh, cool.
What is that?
It's a little, oh, come here, buddy.
Is it Garter?
This is a little, come here, buddy. This is a red belly black snake. These are pretty common down here, or these are pretty common up here in Wisconsin. They have this beautiful, beautiful red coloring on their belly. Look at that. They have this beautiful red coloring on their belly. And then they're all black on top. You can barely see them when they're hiding underneath here. And actually, believe it or not, these guys' main diet is worms, grubs, little roly-polies and isopods, small crickets. And these guys don't really get that big. About 12 to 18 inches is a really, really big one. There's a very similar species down in Texas, y'all call a mud snake. And this is actually a cousin to that snake. So we're gonna go ahead and set this guy right back where we found him. You can see right here, this is one of these guys' favorite foods, little isopods. And that's why he's hiding underneath here. So we're gonna go ahead and let this guy go right back where he was, right in here. Just watch him, he's gonna just... Alright, set that right back the way we got it. Woo! First snake, we barely even started. Let's go see if we can find some more. You got one? Here you go, here you go. You got him? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, well, you getting that? Check this out. Here's a little leopard frog. Oh, he just jumped away. What do you got there, bud? Little baby garter snake.
Garter snake.
How cool is that? Let me get focused on him real quick.
Oh, really tiny.
That is awesome. That is cool. Alright guys, so what my son found is a baby garter snake, which is actually why I was so excited to come check out these railroad tracks, because right now is baby season. The garter snakes have been out, they've been dumping their babies, they have live babies, and they have pretty decent sized litters, and they're going to be scattered all over here looking for these insects and bugs as their first meal. As long as some of those isopods and worms, anything small is what they'll look for their first feeding. Now, believe it or not, this tiny snake that is so common and so many kids play with is actually a venomous snake. Now, it's not harmful, it's not even medically significant. They're what's considered a rear fang venomous snake, where there's fangs deep in the back of their mouth that inject a small toxin that subdues their tiny, tiny prey, like worms and grubs, things of that nature. Nothing that's ever gonna harm us. How cool is that? Alright, we're gonna let this guy go. You found him right here in this little leaf litter, Justice?
Under this log right
Oh, he's under this log? Okay,
yeah.
We're gonna put the log back just the way we found it.
And
we're gonna just let him go right under it. Right where he's happy. Alright. There's a leopard frog. I tried to get him.
Cricket. Big white one.
Well, that's two. That's two, Justice. High five. Alright.
That was a
Let's
weak
go see if we can
high
find some more.
What is that?
Oh, that's a big old spider.
Bruh.
Check out the spider.
Whoa!
You gotta zoom. Look at this spider. Look at this. Look at this. She's got a nest of eggs in there. Look at that. Whoa. Look at that.
It's a big old spider. What is that? You know?
Let's get a better look. Big wolf spider.
Yeah. That's what's up.
What we have here, guys, is a big wolf spider carrying an egg sac. She's gonna bury it down in that tunnel, and then all her little babies are gonna come out. Let's see if we can coax her back into her hole. She's gonna be real defensive right now. There she goes. She'll come back. I'm gonna put this log right back over here. talking about right here. You see all these old railroad ties where they've replaced stuff? It's literally making a hotel for these snakes. They're going to want to hang out in there. There's all sorts of grooves. There's going to be rodents, there's going to be frogs, there's going to be insects, there's going to be spiders, there's going to be isopods, there's going to be worms. There's going to be a complete buffet of food that they want. So this gets me excited when I see stuff like this, because this is probably where we're going to find the majority of what we find on this little herping trip, if we can get this video done before it rains on us. So let's go see what we got.
That snake was big too.
That one that you missed there?
Yeah. It was a garter snake, but figures.
There's one right there. See it? See it?
No.
It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, I see it.
He vanished into. Got these dead trees falling all over, and it creates these little pockets and holes and caves that they can escape to really well. And that's exactly what that snake did. It seen us coming, sensed the vibrations, and he dipped. But I was right. I mean, we just walked around the corner, and there's already our first snake. So let's see what else we can find on this one. Alright, so we went through that log pile. I only seen that one that took off. So it sucks. I can't flip giant railroad ties because I'm not the Incredible Hulk. But we walked down a little bit past there, and all the flippable stuff kind of disappears. Whatever. So we're gonna make our way back this way. We've looked for some snakes on the way back. So far we found a red-bellied black snake, a handful of garter snakes. The snake species that I was hoping to find the most on this little adventure, because this is usually where I find them, we didn't see any of them. So we're not giving up yet. We're going to slowly flip some stuff on our way back, and we're going to hook around and go on the other side of this piece here, because these railroad tracks kind of curve around. Maybe we'll get lucky and find the snake that I'm really after. Check out this sweet frog right here, hanging out on the end of this culvert. This is actually a hybrid. This is a cross between a leopard frog and a green frog. They're two subspecies, but they can breed together, and so you get these little spots on them like that, some different coloring, but they don't have those big open circled cheetah spots like the leopard frogs have, which actually over the last few years, true leopard frogs have been getting harder and harder to find. And I think this is the main reason why, is I think they're hybridizing in most of these spots to a point where they're just changing their species. Pretty sweet though. What we have right here, these are the true green frogs. These are the species that, unlike the leopard frog, have barely any spots on them. Not circles, not any spots. They're mostly a solid green with a little tiny bit of blotching towards their rear end. And this species gets very, very large. One of the largest frog species in Wisconsin. And that's the species that's crossbreeding with the leopard frogs, creating all these hybrids. So we're gonna keep moving, see what else we can find. This has been, we kind of ran out of snakes. I think the weather's kind of got them retreated for right now. Usually when a storm's about to come in, snakes go into hiding. They get into their burrows so they can stay safe. So I don't think we're gonna find any more snakes, but we're almost to the end of these tracks, so we might as well see just in case we find anything. So stick with us.
Frog just jumped in over there.
And right here we have the offspring. These are little tadpoles with their tiny little back legs. They're starting to form, and these are most likely either green frogs or hybrid tadpoles. And what they'll do is when the water levels up, they'll be in these ponds where the marsh floods up. When we get all this water in here, these marshes flood right up and you get these deep points, and they kind of move around as the water levels change out in these marshes, and you can see them growing up, but there's hundreds of them just in this little area. There's no wonder why this place is just full of snakes, because it's the perfect environment. They got all the cover they need, they got all the food they need, because they love eating these little tadpoles.
And the frogs too.
And because of it's so thick and nasty out here, there's not a lot of predators that can get them. So we're gonna keep moving on, see if we can find anything else. We're almost to the end of this walk. Well guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. We had a pretty good walk. It wasn't as, we didn't find as much stuff as I wish we would have, but we did find some cool stuff. A couple different species of snake. We've seen that blue jay that fell out of its nest. But good news is, on the way back, we didn't get it on film, but the mom was chasing it off into the woods, so looks like that one's gonna be all right. We seen that crazy spider. We seen that crazy spider that had that egg sac attached to it. That was pretty sweet. And then all these different frogs. So I'll tell you what though, if you really want to find some cool stuff on this area, you got to go deep into that woods. And I'll tell you what, the bugs are nasty. But I'll go ahead, and if this video right here gets 50 likes, me and Justice will suit up and we'll head deep in there and we'll show you what's really back there. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and smash that like button, because if we get to 50 likes, we're going to go deep into the thick of this, where the bugs will probably carry us away, but we can find some amazing cool animals for you guys. So until next time, you've been watching What's in Your Backyard. We'll see you later.